friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you the voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
With me, boy. Your hands in your fingers. Your ears with. Get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my. Zip the back that like a pogo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo.
All right, Coach, first open back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And his second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Ndamukong Suh in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And taken right on the 30. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Nick Chubb, former prep and collegiate star here in this state at Georgia. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On On second down, here's Goff. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Goff now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. On second down, Freeman. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. He'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They'll set up a throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Frazier. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. His first catch, good for 14 there, and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Preston Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Frazier. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They needed 17 on 3rd down, and that's exactly what they got. A first scoring update now from Carolina. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. They're going to look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
After the interception, here's Goff. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Goff again. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Deion Jones coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Goff. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? find the matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They find some open field here. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. There to make the tackle, Samson Abuka.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He may try and run for this. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run by.
Back home, it's the first carry for the former Georgia Bulldog, Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Gurley again here on 1st down. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They'll try the air now with Goff. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brooks Reed in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Third and long. It's Goff. And the pressure gets to him again. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he's on to punt for L.A. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he's on to punt for L.A. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down is gone. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Goff. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here comes Greg Zuerlein to try and get 3 for the Rams. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. On the screen, this is Coleman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Falcons on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we've reached halftime at a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, that'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The third quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Out of the gun. Gone. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. The Rams on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Here's Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start by running the option to the right. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Again, they'll run with Freeman. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
They'll look to throw here. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The Rams on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Goff. They'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ndamukong Suh in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Coaches always tell their players someone's got to make a big play, but what they mean is a game-altering play, a game-changing play, a turnover force, and we just got that. I mean, how about that play, Brandon?
Yeah, a pick 6, 4th quarter, that is a game-changer.
Someone read their keys, and someone had the courage to go after the ball right then and there.
And it gives them the lead. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to do with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Frazier. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And it's complete. Hooper. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 11.
2 for 66.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On 1st and 10, Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give him 30 yards there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
76.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. He'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you're looking at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again they run with Gurley. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, here's Gone. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you.
Green, 39. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. When they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a first down.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Back to throw. It's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
Back to throw. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Yeah, the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Falcons on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Lucky 56.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Lucky 56. Gone. Detroit. Hot.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now in desperation, and that's caught inside the 35. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Hooper. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll set up a throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1. It's tempting to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans that are holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Goff now to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, That gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
Yeah, it's been loud in here so far. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
First throw in overtime for Goff. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. They've had some success here in overtime on this opening drive running the football. Right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
To throw on second down is gone. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Here's Johnny Hacker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Well, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll drop to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. 7 yards on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Out of the gun now on third down. He finds Coleman. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now it's 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look, 6 DBs. They'll set up to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Freeman lost the football, but the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. And with just 2 seconds remaining, the timeout is called here in OT. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins.